So I'm Samarth from class 7B and I'm studying in Kendriya Vidyalaya, Gill, Nagar. So today I'm going to read the hidden meaning. There was once a farmer. He was hard working but not too bright, and everyone called him Buttu Ram. He was a contented soul and had no ambitions. His wife, however, was exactly the opposite. Our, our husband's son-in-law has bought two buffaloes. Everyone is buying buffaloes or land except us. You must make money somehow. Did you hear me? Yes, yes. No, please let me eat in the peace. Sometimes I feel like breaking a pot over a stick skull. Matters came to head when one day the neighbor excitedly burst into the house. You won't believe it. What? My husband has been honored by the king. What? Are you all right? Yes, yes. Don't worry about me. It's the heat. Oh, what marvelous news! For what did the king honor him? For his poetry. Poetry? Yes. He recited one of his poems to the king. The king was so pleased with it that he presented my husband with two gold coins. Two gold coins. How marvelous, isn't it? If you excuse me, I must rush home from now on. I won't have a moment's rest. Everyone will want to meet my husband. And from now on, she'll become even more insufferable. It's all because of that dim-witted husband of mine. If only he would do something spectacular. There he comes. Have you heard the news? What news? Our good neighbors has been honored by the king. The king? The king gave him two gold coins for a poem he had written. Imagine 2 gold coins. What vegetable you have cooked today? Duck. People around us have become rich and famous, and all you can think of is food. Well, I have had enough. You are going to sit down and write a poem too. A poem? But I don't know how to read and write. I'll teach you. If her husband can write poetry, so can you. I'll teach you the alphabet. I'll being right now. What about food? You'll get your food as soon as you have learned the first letter of the alphabet. The first letter of the alphabet is A. Oh, not O, A. It's written like this. Now go to the riverside and practice writing it in the sand. Every day his wife would teach him one letter of the alphabet, and then she sent him to the riverside to practice writing it. But poor Buttu Ram had a bad memory. Now what did she say the third letter was? What are you doing, my good man? I am learning the alphabet so that I can write poetry. You want to write poetry, do you? And do you think everyone would knows the alphabet can write the poetry? You need inspiration to write poetry, my friend. Inspiration. Who's that? Not to what? Inspiration is a feeling when you get inspired. A thrill runs through your body and oh, never mind. I hope my wife doesn't know about inspiration, or she'll make me study that too. When he returned home, he had to recite all the letters his wife had taught him. Uh, then you don't get I've forgotten the third letter. Then you don't get any food. Slam! Life become miserable for Buduram. Why doesn't she leave me alone? I was happy just being farmer. I can't go on like this. I'll end my life in the river. The river was icy cold and Buduram began to shiver. What happening? Why my whole body trembling? Perhaps this is what the Pandit meant by inspiration. What a stroke of luck. But now that I have got inspiration, must write a poem. But about what? About whom? Ah, that crow is sharpening his beak in expectation of a feast. You dip it in water and sharpen it again and again. Oh Kala, I can read your mind. There I have composed a poem. You dip it in water and sharpen it again and again. Oh Kala, I can read your mind. Oh, what a poem! My wife will be astounded. Putturam ran home. Wife, I've composed a poem. Yes, I entered the river and suddenly I had inspiration, seized the opportunity. Immediately composed a poem. Listen, you dip it in water and sharpen it again and again. Oh, Kalia, can read your mind. What do you think of it? Is that a poem? Oh, of course, it is. I had inspiration, I tell you. Perhaps it is a poem who can tell. Perhaps the goddess pity on my poor husband and on me and inspired him the way she inspired Kalidasa. Well, now that you have poem, you better go to the place and recite it before the king. So Buduram set off for the palace. You dip it in water and sharpen it. When he got there, I come to recite a poem. You can go in the session. It just begun. Buduram went in and took his place among the poets. Some of these men were famed throughout the land and helped the audience slip bound. Buduram waited impatiently for his turn. Finally, the last man finished the recital. Now they know what real poetry is. Is there anybody left? Yes. You may begin then. Buduram cleared his throat, drew out his chest, and began to recite his composition in a loud boom's voice. You dip it in water and sharpen it again and again. Oh, Kalia, I can read your mind. Is that poem? The whole audience burst out loud. But the king maintained a decent silence. No one could dare to come here and cite such a nonsense unless there was some meaning in the words. And a man appears so confident is surely not a fool. He turned to his minister. Well, what did you think of the poem? Well, he didn't laugh with the rest of us. Perhaps the words have some significance which the rest of missed. It is obvious the poem is pregnant with the meaning. Maharaj, just as thought. Can you interrupt? Oh, No, Maharaj. Can anyone interrupt a poem? Interrupt? I thought it was just nonsense. Let the poem be written on a board in the country. If anyone can interrupt the poem, he shall be rewarded with the gold coins, 10 gold coins. What about me, Maharaj? You too will get your reward, but in due course. Butturam composition was written on huge board and the board was set up in the courtyard. Many poets and scholars puzzled over the rhyme, but no one could see any special meaning in the word. Days passed, and one morning, as the king was being prepared for a shave by his barber, what's what's the matter, Kalia? You seem rather nervous. I'm all right. All right. The barber picked up his razor, dipped it into of water, began to sharpen it. You did it in water and sharpen it? Again and again. Oh, Kalia, I can read your mind. What? Forgive me, Maharaj. It was not my idea at all. They asked me to do it. Do what? Cut your throat. Oh, I see it all now. That poem was a foresee and also warning to the barber. Fortunate I recited it just now. Guards, arrest this man and take down his statement and summon the poet. Here is a true poet. We seize all. So it was that Putturam became a great hero. The king rewarded him handsomely. They returned home rich and famous. Oh, what a wonderful man my husband is. That's all for today, guys.